Hello viewers, welcome back to another episode, and I still want to cover my slurred pronunciation with my fast speech, as one of the previous commenters said under my last video. And this episode is about network equipment, and I planned after my first video to make a video about network equipment, and I will do several parts about digital network equipment, because the Digital Equipment Corporation was not also a big company who made computers. They also made network equipment and a lot of network equipment. And in my last video I showed you some terminal servers. You can see these terminal servers over here. And there are still more modules available for the DEChub 90. So this first part will be about the DEChub 90 system, and also a bit about these DESTAs here. And soon I will make a video about the DEChub 900, but most of my DEChub 900 parts are still in storage, so it will take a while until I can make a video about the DEChub 900. And there's also another problem, but I will talk about these other problem later in that episode. So the DEChub 90 series is basically a backplane where you can put in 8 modules, and this backplane is capable of hot swapping, so you can remove and add the modules while the backplane has power. And this is a typical DEChub 90 module, and on the back there is a connector, this one here, and also this round one. This is the connector if you will use an external power supply like this one, so you can use these modules also standalone. But there are two different kind of power supplies, a 5 volt and a 12 volt, and depending on your module you need a different power supply for a standalone use. In the backplane you can use it provides 5 volt and 12 volt at the same time. If you want to use this module standalone, there are some kind of back covers here, and basically this connector here is some kind of AUI connection, and if you don't want to use it, there's also a blank cover without any connector. And I think I have also a third one of these back covers with some active components inside, but I don't know where it is at the moment. I think it's in storage. This small part here is only passive, so this connector is basically AUI with some other parts. So now I will show you the backplane and also the modules. I have 11 different modules, but here are 12 modules, but this has a reason. I will talk about that later. I think in total I have about 25 modules or something like that, because I have a lot of modules twice or 3 times or 4 times or more. And these 4 categories are repeaters, servers, bridges, and everything else. Before we want to look at the backplane and all the other components, I have also this book here, and this is a catalog or something like that. It's called Digital Networks BIOS Guide. It's from July to December 1991. It's a bit of a catalog, so you can have a look inside, and there are products described inside, but there are also concepts described. And it's a quite thick document printed on thin paper, and a lot of things are described inside. I did not read the whole book, but you can see here the DECserver 90L is described and what are the features, and the DECserver 200 and all that stuff. So it's a quite interesting document about digital network equipment. First, let's have a look at the backplane. This, as I said at the beginning, you can add 8 modules to the backplane. On the right is the power supply. The backplane was the first digital equipment piece I've ever owned, and also the first pro network gear I've ever owned. I've got a backplane when I was 14 years old. And this is not the backplane, my first backplane. I have 2 of them, but only 1 power supply at the moment, so I'm still looking for a second power supply. And you can add these modules just by clicking them. Here you can see there is something. If you hold this piece of plastic down, and you can take it to the up side, and then you can add modules to it. But this configuration is not allowed, because these are bridge modules, and bridge modules have to be on this slot 8. So some modules have to be on the position 7 or 8, but all other modules, especially only the I think only the bridges and the DECagent have to be there. All other modules you can place wherever you want, and it doesn't matter where you place the modules. So you can place them in the middle, on the right, on the left. You can leave spaces between the modules. It doesn't matter. And the whole system is 10 megabit because this is some kind of a UI. So this is only a 10 megabyte system, and this is all passive. So there's no active switching inside the backplane. It's just a small board underneath, and it's one collision domain between all the modules. And on the right is a connector which looks like 10^2, but this is to connect a second backplane, because you can use two backplanes to have a big backplane with 16 modules. So you need to connect them with this BNC cable, and there is also a second connector which looks like a serial line, but it's not a serial line. It's this DEC type MMJ connector. This is for the data between the modules. So let's have a look at different modules. I will start with the repeaters over here. And I have 3 different repeaters. This is a DECrepeater 90FA. This is a connector with one 10-base FL, so it's fiber optic connector for 15 megabytes. And down here there is an AUI connector where you can put maybe a DESTA. You can connect a DESTA to it, a DESTA, and then you have a 10^2. A DESTA is basically a media converter from digital to convert 10^5 to 10^2. They are 2 different versions. This is the older one. It's a bit bigger because this is a special version of this thing what you put on a SIG cable. I don't know really what's the name of it, but there when you had a SIG 10-base SIG cable or 10^5, you have some kind of device you put direct on the cable, and this original DESTA is based on that module, and later on they built a smaller version of DESTA, but in general these are media converters made by DEC. So back to the repeaters. So this is a repeater, so basically a hub, so there's no active switching inside these devices, and there's also a bigger version available. This has 4 10-base FL connectors, but it's also a hub, and here's this bit broken over here because it's a bit older, but I have a second one which is okay, but this still works as well. And another thing I have is this one. This is a newer module. This is a DECrepeater 90TS. There's also a DECrepeater 90T, but this 90TS, here's the console port, has capable of SNMP management. It's quite basic, but you can read out port statistics and disable enable ports on this device. So this is a newer device. I don't know when it's built. It's built, can I see it on the back? No, there is, here it's written copyright digital copyright 1990, but this model is newer because it's not in the 1991 catalog, and also the DEChub 90 is released in 1991, but there is no build date written on the back. Yeah, so these are the repeaters, and because it's one collision domain, it's quite problematic. There is another product, quite untypical product today. This is a bridge, and a bridge is a thing which separates 2 collision domains. The collision domain connected on the back, or there's also a BNC connector over here. So if you want to use this module standalone, you can also use this 10^2 connector over here, but you cannot use the 10^2 connector and the backplane at the same time. You have to select which one you want to use, and this bridge separates the network is connected on the top. You can here switch if you want to use the AUI connection or the 10^2 connection, and the network on the back. And the network on the back is limited to 255 stations, I think. There's a limitation, I think it's 255. And this is the 10^2 version, but there's also a fiber optic version, this one here. This is the DECbridge 90FL, where you can connect 10-base FL instead of 10^2, and down here is also the AUI connection and the switch. So in general, it's the same concept. Then you can see with the bridge, but the connector is different. Then in short, because I have made a separate video about it, my last video, they are servers. You can see here, we'll take them all together. 4 different categories of server: 90L, 90L+, 90TL, and 90M. I don't want to talk in detail about it because I have a separate video. I will link that video down below where I talk specifically about that 4 modules and that 4 servers. In general, a terminal server is a possibility to connect a printer, a modem, or a terminal to with the serial connection to the network. But if you're interested in that kind of hardware, please see my other video about it. And these are the miscellaneous modules. And the first one is this one. This is a DECagent. And DECagent, this is a console port for configuration. A DECagent is some SNMP proxy. So this one has, you can configure about this console port, and you can configure the SNMP quite in the module. But the older modules, like this one, does not have this connector. And to use SNMP on that module, you need this specific product. This is the DECagent. This scans the backplane, and then you can access via SNMP to the modules. And there's also a previous version available on the DECrepeater 90TS without that console port. It's called DECrepeater 90T, and then you can also use this DECagent. And there is a software. This software is called HubWatch, and with the software you can manage these modules. I do have a copy for VMS in my software product library, so I will try it out on Workstation soon, and then we'll make a video about it when I've tried it out. But there's also versions available for Windows, but I do not have a copy of HubWatch for Windows, so I cannot show it. This software things is also the reason I cannot show you the DEChub 900 at the moment, because if you have a DEChub 900 you need a software called ClearVision, and I do not have a copy of ClearVision. So if you do know where I can get ClearVision or HubWatch for Windows, you can send me an email. You find my email address in the description of my channel. And then there is the last module, and this is the reason why there are 12 modules on the table, but I have only 11 different ones, and this is this one. And this is written on here, DECwanrouter 90. And the wanrouter 90 is a module with this big serial connection to connect to wide area networks. So in the US it's T1, T3 or something like that, and in Europe it's called E1 or E3. I have a cable for it to connect it to X21, but I cannot use these modules because I do not have something to connect to these modules except of the cable. But this isn't a DECwanrouter 90. This is a Leafbridge, because originally there was some kind of sticker on it, and I've removed the sticker years ago to see what's under the sticker. But if you have a look at the back, you can see these are the same modules, DECwab-E. So both modules are Leafbridges. And I've googled the module name Leafbridge. I don't know what the difference between a Leafbridge and the DECwanrouter 90 is. So if you know what is a Leafbridge, you can write it in the comment, because at the moment I do not have any scenario where I can use these particular modules. First, I thought this is a special kind of firmware, but the wanrouter needs to download the firmware with a load like the DEC servers. So you need a server, VEX or something like that, which provides an image for the wanrouter. So that cannot be the difference between these two modules. So I don't know what especially Leafbridge is. So yeah, let me know if you ever heard about this specific modules. I have 2 of them. So yeah, these are my DEChub 90 modules, and this is also the end of the video. I hope you find that first network equipment video interesting, and leave comments below, and thanks for watching.